I wanted to share with you about um, our own power and what does it mean to reclaim your power or to be in power. Because it took me time myself to understand what it means, and I'm also observing that I'm discovering what it means as I am experiencing life and different situations. Because yeah, our power is infinite, life is infinite, so many ways and possibilities and choices of yeah, what is now and how we see life and react to our life. So personal life updates. Some days ago, almost a week ago, someone broke into my rental car. I was parked in a proper car park next to a beach in southern Portugal, and we were there for like 1 hour 20. I remember well because I don't know, just good with the timings. And I go back to the car and I saw it straight away, like the things, my stuff was moved. So I discovered that someone broke in. Through the door, they destroyed the lock, and they stole they stole what I call my international pack. So basically, my purse was in the car with my bank cards and my driving license, and I had my good trekking sandals and my adventurer backpack and my passport, which I guess was in the front pocket of my backpack because that's my adventuring backpack. And so my first reaction was to, I think I took a deep breath and I'm like, okay. First reaction, I went back to my friend who was dealing with the three kids, and I told her if she was okay to stay with the kids for a moment because someone broke into the car and I wanted to walk around the block and check every bin. So once I made sure she was okay to handle the kids a bit longer on her own, I walked around the block and checked every bin, which made me laugh a lot. It made me back. I was thinking about Cambodia because in Cambodia, when something was stolen, often we will advise people, and a lot it happened to a lot of my friends as well, like to go to the markets and check the shop there because often phones are being stolen. It's easy to sell and get money, or cameras, all this electronic stuff, and that tourists go around with. And often people will find their phone or their camera in the shop, simply secondhand. And so it made me laugh. I'm like, yeah, obviously I'm doing all the bins. I didn't find anything of mine, no interesting in the bins. There's often interesting stuff in the bins for the ones that like recycling. We like the bins. So then I came back to the car, and before going back to the kids and driving home and dealing with dealing with life and making dinner and all this stuff with the kids, I do what I usually do when something happens that is a bit similar to the situation. Is I took a moment to connect and I send love and gratitude to the person that stole my stuff and everyone involved in the robbery. And also I reinforced my own space because I realized that there was a deep penetration that just happened in my space. The car was my space. And also my identity papers got stolen. So I reinforced that. And to reinforce my own space, I'm sending love and gratitude as well to the other person because I wish to receive love and gratitude no matter what I'm doing. And I'm not here to judge this person, wrong or right. Yeah, I'm safe. All is good. The car was driving. I'm like, okay, it happens. So a lot of blessings. It's been almost a week now, and the main blessings that I got straight away was this international pack. Obviously, I'm like, oh, I don't have papers. I've been, as a worldwide traveler and being a nomad for 18 years, and also loving all that has to do with transportations and logistic. My thoughts are often getting a bit dispersed in checking out places. I can spend hours on Google Map or just checking Facebook groups or Airbnbs or rental cars or I don't know, just places around the world because I'm just curious about them, and I think I'm becoming quite good at just checking places and organizing my way around. And as I'm now in Europe and I know less Europe than Asia, for example, I love checking the routes of the flights and highways and the map. Yeah, so I am just have this passion for transportation and logistic and organization of transportation. So yeah, I am deeply thankful because it makes me just think about here now, which is Europe. I don't have a passport, so there is no possibility for me to book a flight and fly to Mexico tomorrow, or Dominican Republic, or Egypt, or because everything is always possible with me. So I'm here. I've got my backpack, my passport. Where are we going? So thank you for that because it makes me have a rest and settle deeper here where I am. Also, I'm having a lot of fun because I have no papers and I've just crossed borders. So I found a car to drive me from Portugal to Spain. And I'm still planning to do all the things I've been planning to do in Europe. It's just I'm not going to take planes. I'm going to look at the roads. And yeah, that's a lot of fun for someone that likes transportations and routes and logistics and ways. And yeah, it's definitely opening my way. I'm also learning how it works in Europe for paperwork, which is very handy to know it works. So, I'm calmly calling a consulate in Portugal. Today I had the consulate in Barcelona because I'm in Spain. And magically, my driver's license has been found. So it's coming back to me by post from Portugal. So thank you for the person that saw my driving license on a wall in the Lost and Found office and found me through Instagram. So thank you. So yeah, life is not telling me that I can't move. But definitely it's good to settle here now for a moment in time and space because, I can do another passport and go. My passport could come back to me tomorrow and I have a flight in 3 days. Like, I don't know what's going to be of now and tomorrow. And I don't need to know. I've been navigating the void for a while, but it's interesting to observe how life has ways to show us our way of now. About my passport, I had to renew it anyway because it's expiring in December. And when you're traveling, there's many countries that are asking you for the visa to have at least 6 months on your passport left before renewal. So I had to renew it. So, okay. Thank you. I will do it. When I was in Egypt, so 2 years ago, actually, I arrived in Egypt. So a bit less than 2 years ago, someone penetrated in the apartment I was renting and stole a purse full of money. And so I caught the guy because he woke me up. He walked into my room and I was sleeping. It was like dawn. It was around 5, 6 a.m. And I caught him and I'm very calm. I can handle crisis in a very exceptional way. I realized that through the years and my life experience. So I'm very calm and we caught him. And I think half an hour later, I had my landlord knocking on my door and giving me the money back. So I'm like, okay, thank you. But again, there was this penetration of my field. That's how it feels each time. And so I reinforce my own field and I work on that. I feel usually when I do my energy work, I feel threads and I'm threading like you have a balloon with a hole. So I have my balloon and a hole and I'm just weaving the little hole. And when we're talking about frequencies, it's not like there is a hole open for attacks. It's maybe my frequency needs a little clearing and purification to re-strengthen fully or to update. How do I know? Actually, I think it's about updating. I don't know, there's so many perspectives on it, and I think we can just observe all the perspective at once. So yeah, I'm going through an update. So it's been years now that my first reaction will be love and gratitude, and open to receive the messages, the blessings of the situation. Because I changed all my reaction years ago, what I was doing, like my whole transformation. And it's interesting because I was telling my story. I sent a message to a friend telling her my story, and her first reaction was to tell me how amazed she was with the way I reacted and see it as a blessing. And it made me realize that not everyone reacts like me, and we all have our different ways of reaction, and owning your power and being in your power, because I started the conversation about that, is owning your reactions. I'm not asking you to react like me. You react the way you do, but my question is, are you in charge of your reactions, or are you getting just completely like taken away by your reactions? Are your reaction getting you in a complete drama, panicking, whole state of being? Like, do you know how is your state of being when you react? Because if you own your power, you own your reactions, and your reaction is really how you can change them. I hear a lot of people saying, oh no, that's the way I am. I'm like, well, that's the way you think you are, because the way you react is not you. This is just a way your system is functioning, and you can change the system. That's why I keep talking about mindset, mind mechanics, mind reprogramming, and changing habits. Because the way you react is seen in every little reaction you're having. It's just some are smaller and some are bigger. So when bigger things happen to you, your reaction is enhanced, but this reaction is here in other little things around in your life. That's why I like starting slowly and changing habits, because when you take little habits that are here in your everyday life and just alter them a little bit, you can really observe how you react to that and change that. But you change it in a comfortable way, because you don't feel attacked, you don't feel you have to panic about it. Like when you're in your safe, comfortable environment, so you can more control your own way of reacting and embrace yourself through the process of changing your reaction and observing it. Because it can be quite confronting to tell yourself, oh, I have the tendency to make drama out of nothing. Oh, I have the tendency to panic and speculate without knowing it. People, I realize, get very offended by their own self when they confront themselves with their own truth, because you take it personally. But I'm like, the way you react is not you, it's just how your system is organized, and you have the power to reorganize your system and react in a way that is actually bringing you blessings and comfort, instead of taking you in places that sounds just awful. So the rest of my paperless adventures. This is a very interesting experience, to be paperless, because I observed while I'm in Europe, I had the passport in my car, actually, because usually I would have it in my suitcase, like at home. But I had it in my car because I thought, oh, I'm in Europe, we're supposed to have the ID papers on us if someone is asking us, blah, blah, blah. So I had it in the car. But no one ever asked me for my papers. And I just drove 1,000 kilometers and no one asked me for my papers. And why do I have this little voice when I'm in Europe, not when I'm outside Europe? It's very interesting. It's only in Europe, this voice that is here. Someone is going to ask you for your papers, or you need to do this the right way. There is such a fear of how the government works, and I don't know, like we're under attack all the time. I don't know, I'm just rambling here stuff. I'm completely all right. I will do my passport when I'm doing it, because I have the chance to have a French nationality, and French embassies and consulate are a bit everywhere. And now that I chatted with two different persons from two consulate from two different countries, I know I can just do my passport wherever I want. Which I used to. I used to do it in Cambodia because it was just very practical to do it there. So yeah, my driving license gonna come back to me. So for me, it's an ID paper. It's not recognized in France, but I know in the UK, for example, your driving license is recognized as an ID. So it's interesting because suddenly I'm contemplating borders and governments and countries, and why do we need all this paperwork to prove our identity. So I'm not doing contemplate, I'm contemplating, I'm not overthinking it and being upset by how things are organized and being upset by the past and no, I'm just contemplating. This morning I was asking my friend if we thought we could actually create a new country. So yeah, it's just interesting to observe how we're organizing things. I want you to remember that society and the government are made from human beings like you and me. We are the ones that are creating the system. And that's why I'm going to repeat about changing your own habit and changing your own self and your own lifestyle and self-transformation, because we are life, we are society. So if you want to change, if you want anything different, you start with you. Because when you change your own frequency, your own way of doing, well, you're changing society, because we are part of society. Okay. Blessings on your way. And yeah, enjoy now. Ciao.